Michael Wilson Everard, here to further the conversation about awareness. Um, as you become more aware of yourself, um, your mental, physical, and spiritual aspects, you will start to realize that there is something more going on. You will eventually become aware of your consciousness. Your consciousness is your identity. It's who you are. It's your imagination. It's your mind. It's what you use to create. It's what you use to solve problems. It's what you use to tap into your physical brain to retrieve data. It's where you choose your thoughts. All of these great things. Once you become aware of your consciousness, you begin to realize that there is something deeper still that is part of who you are. And that's your soul. This is what you are. So, if you're limiting yourself in any way in terms of preconceived ideas of what you think is going on with the universe, such as either a disbelief in God or a set dogma that locks you into a set way of viewing God or thinking about who and what God is. So, somebody taught me something important about 4 months ago. 4 months ago. And that is when you come up against a paradox where you have a conflict of thought forms, where you're told to believe, for example, that God loves you unconditionally, but if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you're going to hell for eternity. Okay, so this would be a paradox. There are plenty of paradoxes in other religions as well. What I've decided is to basically challenge myself, and whenever I come across a paradox, I examine it, and then I go deeper and I ask questions, and I figure out the solution, because they really are riddles. So riddles help us to be creative in how we answer the questions. So we start with the question, and then we dig deep. We answer the question very often by asking another question. So this is how we go down the rabbit hole. With awareness, what I found is that you, the more aware you are, the more present you become, and it feeds in and of itself. So the more present you are, the more clear-minded you are, and what's happening is your oscillating rate of frequency is increasing. So what I chose to do with that is just keep that process going. And then every time you accept the next level of truth about yourself, what'll happen is you're you're either going to laugh or you're going to cry, and both both have physical and spiritual significance. So when you cry, you're clearing your vision, or you're actually washing out the debris from your eyes, but you're metaphorically clearing your inner vision. You when you laugh, you're clearing out your lungs. All of these things work together. So they are also stress relieving. They have stress relieving functions, which means that your physical well-being is very much tied into your mental and your spiritual aspects. So all of these things work together. Once you go deep enough, you're going to feel God's presence. So what is God's presence? Well, God's presence is indescribable. It's a feeling of peace. It's a very strong feeling of love, but it's very often something that you really can't describe. You can only feel it. So this is the purpose of the soul. So the soul is what you are. The soul is a piece of God. I used to use the term God spark, which kind of makes sense because all of this is various expressions of energy. So for those that choose not to have an image of God that maybe they learned in Sunday school, the notion of an old man with white hair in a robe, sitting in the clouds, which is perfectly fine because we go back to the idea of mankind being formed in his image. Well, that word image is short for imagination. So God created us, everything, the universe, with his imagination. Part of the way that anything is manifested, it's a merger of very simply a 1 and a 0. Okay, so the sound is, I believe, the best sonic representation of God. A lot of people have names such as Allah, Buddha, Krishna, Jehovah, Yeshua. I mean, we could go on and on and on. The is the call, and the Om is the answer. So, Father and Om, other, mother. So we do, in order for God to complete the manifestation of the universe, it was a merger of the and the Om. Okay, so people get all bent out of shape with the idea of, well, is God a man? Is God a woman? Is he both? Is he neither? Well, various aspects are expressed in different ways. So the absolute one representation of God is masculine energy. The feminine, the divine feminine, 0, is the feminine, divine feminine energy. So for God to become complete, in order to manifest physical reality, there's a merger of the two. So the answer to the question is, whether or not is God a man? Well, yes, but God is also both masculine and feminine, if you separate out different aspects, that's fine too. Just like humans, we have a mental, physical, and spiritual. God has these kinds of aspects as well. So, we have the universe, which is the physical expression of God. We have we have infinity, which is it's the when aspect. So it gets a little tricky putting labels on these different aspects, but we have infinity, which is when. We have the what I call the zenith, God's 0 point, the Xenoverse, which is where God is present. I suppose we could say that is the what. We have the I said the infinity, which I call the Eververse. That is the when. So we have the when, the what, and then the universe, which is the, we could say that's the how. We could say it's the why. I like why. That gives us the method of delivery, which is the love. So the how is kind of a combination of all of these things, and then we can get into a whole discussion about dimensions, but I'll leave that for another time. So that's basically it. Becoming aware of all of your aspects, as well as at least the beginning of some of God's aspects, will help you think outside of the box, and to reemerge with at least more awareness. So don't get caught up in figuring out exactly how all this stuff works. That's for another point in time of your growth and development. So if you're confused about anything, what happens is you're overthinking it. So remember, friction serves the purpose of reminding you to become more present, feel your way through these things that come up, and then just enjoy this. It is a journey. It is a ride. It's fun. If you get stuck in thought forms that are causing too much friction, there's a way out of that. You become more present. Remember, being aware of your feelings helps you readjust what it is that you're thinking about, and then what you will do about it. So find your 0 point, okay? Be peaceful. When things come your way that bring you joy, enjoy it. Don't get too attached and chase that, because the point of living is to love. It's to experience it. It's to give it. All of us, myself included, and I like how I feel overall. Generally, I'm very peaceful, and I have my moments where I'm quite joyful. But last night and a little bit this morning, I was feeling a sense of I don't want to say emptiness, but it just seems like something is gonna be happening. I'm not going to worry about it, but I became more present. I thought about my own awareness and how to describe what's happening to me, because I believe everybody is feeling something is coming, something is happening. Um, we've felt different, we've felt other than, for about 5 months now. Let's be honest, the whole COVID-19 thing has been a journey in and of itself. Um, so watch what you're thinking, become more aware of um, what you're doing and how it affects other people. So that's pretty much it, folks. I love you guys. Feel free to leave comments, contact me. My email is everardmusic@gmail.com. My Instagram, I have really great photos and images that I've found. That's at everardmusic. I'm going to be putting together a website that's going to be everardmusic.com. Pretty simple. My YouTube channel is Everard Music. So I'm going to also be playing more guitar, doing some more music, and I look forward to sharing all of what it is that I'm learning with you folks. All right. Love you.